Good morning.
Good morning.
Hari Om.
Good morning.
Namaste. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Do like that.
We will start with the Atmabodha chant. Ratasmarami hride samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatin turiyam Yat swapna jagara shushuptamaveti nityam Tat brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha. We will chant from verse 21 to 25. To 25. You all have the books?
Buddhau satyam pravartate Sushuptau nasti tannashe Tasmad buddhestu natmanaha Yato yasya Chaityamanyathoshnata Svabhava Satchidananda Nitya Nirmalatatmanaha Satchidam Shashcha Buddhir-Vritti-Dvayam Samyojya Chavidekena Janamiti Pravartate.
We will chant verse 22. I think we finished 21. Yes, 22 twice.
Chandre Chalanadiyatham Bhasaha
I just need to take a book to go.
Chandre Chandre Chalanadiyatham Bhasaha.
Any questions? So, Atmabodha, as you know, is an introductory text written by Adi Shankaracharya to introduce you to certain concepts of Vedanta, which will make you ready to get into Prasthanatraya. Prasthanatraya means Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, and Upanishads. So this text gives you kind of a glossary, kind of a familiarity to get into the other texts. Those texts, if you read Prasthanatraya, then you are said to be said to have read Vedanta. But to understand that, you need to understand this. So here in verse 21, he says, qualities of the body and senses, deha indriya, due to avivekena, non-discrimination, you adhyasyanti, meaning adhyasyanti means what? Superimpose. A very good word, learn adhyasyanti. To superimpose. Yes, yeah. Superimpose on the stainless existence, intelligence, Atman, just as blue color, etc. to the sky. So the whole idea is Atmabodha, every verse has a upama. Upama means an example which correlates and makes you better understand the concept. He was as brave as a tiger. So I don't need to explain more about that person. You understand how brave a tiger is. So you superimpose that kind of idea onto that person. Upama, right? Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means 4 kinds of gaining knowledge. What are the 4 kinds? Who knows? What are the 4 kinds? 4 ways to gain knowledge.
One is reflecting. One is attending.
Hmm?
One is attending school or listening from a preceptor. That is the second one. And the third one, I think, is intuition, if I'm mistaken. I don't know.
What are the Sanskrit names for that?
I wouldn't know. So I won't know that. That will have to help us.
Shravan is the first one.
Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha. Remember this. This is basics.
Pratyaksha. Then Aparoksha also, no?
Those are, you don't need those. Yeah, there are 6 ways actually, but we don't need to get, there'll be a little confusion there.
So is it Shravan, Manan, Nidhyas?
No, that's the way of converting knowledge into this. These are 4
Ways of gaining.
ways of gaining knowledge. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upama,
Pratyaksha,
Agami.
traditional.
Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upama, and Agami. Right? So what is Pratyaksha?
What can be seen directly.
Correct. So direct perception. Anumana means
Assuming.
What else? Anuman lagana.
Approximate.
You can say approximation, or you can
Is it deducing?
infer,
Anuman, deducing.
deduce. Yeah. Infer, deduce, right? Upama is
Comparison.
example,
Relate.
comparison. Agami is tradition. So Pratyaksha is you can gain knowledge by seeing. You see something, then you say this is an animal. Or you can hear a dog barking. Then you say, this is a dog. How? By direct comparison. Right? Sorry, direct perception. You hear, you smell, paneer bhurji, or you smell biryani, right? You touch, this is very rough, this is very smooth. So there are various five senses. Through five senses, you gain knowledge of a world around you. Anumana is you infer as well, based on your previous knowledge. Previous pratyaksha, you infer, which is, if you see a smoke, a lot of smoke, what do you infer? What do you deduce?
Fire.
Fire. You're not seeing the fire, but you're pretty sure that is fire, right? Upama is example. Examples are very, very, it's used a lot in scriptures, many scriptures, all scriptures. Just as you think the sky is blue, that's how you think the Atman is doing stuff. Sky is not blue. How you misinterpret Atman doing action, Atman is karta. How do you, just as how you superimpose the qualities onto something which has no qualities, which is space. You see up, it is space. There is no blue. You go inside, there's no blue, but you see blue. That is upama. Like you can even say, the famous example that Swamiji gives is Shivaji Maharaj was like a tiger. So upama has some limitations, but it conveys the meaning. Agami is textbook knowledge, traditional knowledge, proven, time tested, which is the Shastras that we are studying. In Atmabodha, the peculiarity of Atmabodha is upama. By comparison. Everything is by comparison. So in verse 21, he says, due to avivekena, due to adhyasyanti, meaning not adhyasyanti, due to aviveka, which is due to ignorance, you believe that Atman has those qualities, though it doesn't, just like blue color, right? Now, what you must understand is, you say Atman is karta. How are you saying that? Why do you say Atman is karta? Atman is acting. Why do you say that? How do you say that technically? You say I
It
am.
is the very life force that we are functioning with.
The misunderstanding is, you say I act. I am karta, aham karta, right? You say that. You do activities. Activities means you see, you feel, everything is an action, right? Aham karta, you say. What they're saying is that the fact that you say aham karta is wrong. Because I doesn't do anything. So what does stuff? The equipments do stuff. What is the equipment? What are the equipments? Body, mind, intellect. Right? You don't do anything. Body, mind, intellect does. Atman is actionlessness, he says. Vasana-lessness, thoughtlessness. Thought is an action again. Why do we say Atman is actionless? Because if you see the chronology of action from you emanates, comes out because you feel a sense of void within, right? There is an emptiness within. When you feel an emptiness within, thought comes up to fill the emptiness. A thought comes up to go and contact the world so that that emptiness is fulfilled. So what are we doing in life? What we do in life is we keep on constantly trying to fill that emptiness within. How do you know that? Because you must have heard or seen self-realized souls who says, I don't need anything. They say, I am Paripurna. Shivji and Parvati Mata, they were discussing. Parvati Mata says, you know what? There is this guy in the world. I am really, really, really impressed by him. He is one of your best bhaktas. I've not seen anybody like that before. Now, why don't we go and give him a boon, prasad, a gift, a boon, right? Then Shivji says, Arey, let him be na. He doesn't need anything. Doesn't want anything. No, no, no. You know, why do you say that? He may need something now. We have to go and give it to him. Then, after some time, you have to listen to your wife. Problem. So he says, "Theek hai, we will go." And then they come. And that man is sowing something, sowing something. Sitting under a tree, sowing something. And then Parvati Mata comes and says, hey, I'm very, very impressed with you. We want to give you a boon. Ask what you want. He says, thank you for giving me darshan. I don't want anything. Okay? You should take something. We have come all the way from Kailasa. We want to give you something. No, madam. Shivji आए हैं, बहुत है, वही बहुत है. No, you must take. Now she insists, you must have one wish. I want to give you a wish. I want to gift you something. Then he is in Dharma Sankat. He's like, what to do? क्या करूं? मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. But she is asking, ask something. So he is looking everywhere and thinking, and Shivji is, looking at him and smiling. And then he looks at what he's doing, He's doing what?
Sewing.
Sewing is doing, right? So he says, I wish that when I'm sewing, the thread should follow the needle. He says, I wish, my gift is from you is, may you make sure that the thread follows the needle. What did you understand by this? What did you understand by this?
That he doesn't have any desires.
He doesn't want anything. Thread will follow the needle, right? Because you put the thread inside the needle and you're sewing. The helplessness that they just don't want anything. Why? They are paripurna. When you have paripurna feeling in you, there is no void. The void is filled up. If there is no void, there is no desire. When there is no desire, there is no action. So Atman, Brahman, is a state of paripurna. When there is paripurna in him, then there is no action. So Atman is actionless. So you do not have any desire. What has desires? Your mind. So you feel a void within. What is that void? If you are full, if you are Atman, if you are full, why do I feel a void? Imaginary void. We have an imaginary void. So to fill that imaginary void, we keep on contacting the world. Hence, nobody in the world, in the history of human beings, has ever found happiness pursuing the world. How do you fill an imaginary void? Can you fill an imaginary void? Can anybody fill an imaginary void? Not possible. It's imagined. It cannot be filled up. So, what the Shastra says, gain knowledge that there is no void. Gain the knowledge of the self. Knowledge of the self means what? There is no void. Aham karta. Aham karta is wrong. You don't do activity. Body does the activity. You are Anand Swarup. So why do you say that I am doing? That is because you superimpose the qualities of the body onto Atman. Qualities of the mind onto Atman. I am feeling. I did this. Aham karta, aham bhokta. Sheer association. It's like association like the moon. What is the example? The moon is reflected in the water. You don't see the moon, you see the water. So when you see the moon in the water, what is the quality of the moon? The qualities of the moon are the qualities of the water. You understand? The water is wavy. What do you see the moon as? Stationary in the water. The moon is wavy. Right? Whatever the qualities of the water, the reflection is the quality of the moon. So he says, what is you superimpose that quality just because of association. When you say, I do stuff, I am feeling bad, I am feeling good. No, the mind is feeling good, the mind is feeling bad. You just are witnessing that. You witness that. So here in verse 22, he says, agency of action, etc., of the mind are attributed through ignorance to self, just as movement, etc., of the water to the moon in it. Agency of action, etc., of the mind are attributed through ignorance. So, what is he saying? What is moving is water. But you think the moon is moving. Why do you think the moon is moving? Because of ajnanam. Ajnanam is you do not know that there is moon up there. Not you, for example, a 2-year-old boy. He will see that, oh, the moon is moving, mommy, the moon is moving. This is called, there is another word, atasmin tad buddhi. Atasmin tad buddhi means attributing the knowledge of one thing to something else. Attributing the knowledge of the water to the moon. Instead of seeing the water, you should look up the moon. Should look up the moon. Similarly, Atman is reflecting in the mind and intellect. But you say, I feel it. I am honored. I am dishonored. The statement itself is wrong. The mind feels, the intellect is honored, dishonored. Atman, when they say, what is Atman? Atman, when they say, it's the core what it's like there is, what is the dharma of a sugar? Dharma of a sugar is sweetness, right? If it's not sweet, it is not sugar. So a dharma of a human being is sheer awareness, sheer existence. You by yourself know you are there, right? Do you know that you're there? You know that. But you also know that you're there as this and this and this. I am there as a body, I am there as a mind, I am there as an intellect. What the Vedas say is, you are there. Don't pollute it. Unconditioned consciousness. Your conscious, conditioned consciousness is you're conscious that you are the body. Conditioned. You're conditioned by the body. You're conscious that you are the mind, conditioned by the mind. What they're talking about is you, when you say I, it's unconditioned. It is not conditioned by BMI. The knowledge, I don't know how else to explain this, the knowledge that you are there, khatam. Don't pollute it with as this, as that. No, you're there. You exist. That awareness is polluted by the moment it touches something. The moment it touches the body, you think you're the body. The moment it touches a feeling, you think you feel it. What they are saying is disconnect that. There are two aspects in it. One is the subject, other is an object, right? You have a phone screen in front of you. What is the phone screen, subject or the object?
Object.
Object now. So object, when you say this is my screen, there is a difference between the screen and you, isn't it? This is my screen. If you say the screen is the object, you're the subject. You won't say, I am the screen. Will anybody say that? No, you won't say that. Why? Because there is subject-object relationship. Similarly, when you wear something, you say, I am wearing a cloth. What is the subject? What is the object here?
Object is your shirt.
Object is the shirt. What is the
Subject is
subject?
me.
You are the
Me.
subject, right?
You.
It is subject-object relationship. You will not say, I am the shirt. No, that is a foolish thing to say, isn't it? Because shirt can be thrown away. You can wear a different shirt. Now you look at this hair that you have, all good hair you have, right? This is, what do you say? Do you say, I am hair? Nobody says that. What do you say?
My hair.
This is my hair. So what is happening? What is the subject object? You are the subject. Hair is the object. So when you say my hair, you are not the hair. Sir, no, I am this whole thing. No, you are not. You just proved it. The hair is different from you. Oh,
But same way, if you say it's my hand, the hand is an object, and then who is the subject?
you are the subject.
You means what?
We will come to that. Good question. So this is my hand, you say. थोड़े लोगों का हाथ भी कट जाता होगा. I saw one person whose finger is cut here, this one. अब तक बोल रहा था, I am this hand. Finger is there, he is here. No. Then, are you the hand? No. Because there is my hand. The statement you're making is very important. This is my hand. But what do you say? I'm feeling hot. Arey? What is wrong in that? What is right in that? What is wrong in that statement? I'm feeling hot because summer is there now.
So here the I becomes the body which is feeling hot.
It's a wrong statement. It's a wrong statement.
It is
I
the
am
mind that is
happy.
becoming hot.
Huh?
It is the mind that is feeling hot.
So you, correct. See, no, not the mind. Heat is felt by the body. Right? So the correct statement is what?
The body is feeling hot.
Body is hot. Did you not just say the hair, my hair is good? My hair. You have a beautiful hair. My hair is good. The hair is different from you. The hand is different from you. The heat that you feel through the body is different from you. When it comes to the body, it's a little difficult to understand because our association is so strong. I'm hot is a absolutely technically wrong statement. What you mean actually is, I feel that the body is hot. I'm aware that the body is hot. That's what you mean. That's a correct statement. How am I looking? If you say that, wrong statement. Wrong statement. How is the body looking? Because you just now created a subject-object relationship. This is my body. One eye is gone. Till that person says, I'm here. 5 minutes ago, he said, I'm both the eyes. So when the body goes through pain, your correct statement is, body is going through pain. I am not going through pain. There's a difference. Who is going through pain? Body. Body is going through pain. शर्ट फट गया तो आप फट गए नहीं. Shirt is torn. You are not torn. This body's hair is wavy. You are not wavy. Shirt is torn. You are not torn. The body is aching. You are not aching. Go further still. The feeling is registered by the mind. So what feels? The mind feels. The mind is feeling happy. Oh, I'm so happy, you say. Wrong. This is even more difficult to comprehend. The mind feels sad. But you say, I'm sad, sir. You're not sad. How can you be sad? You will say that, right? You will say that, hey, there are some statements, hey, my mind is feeling low today. You say that. So happiness and sadness is felt by the mind. You are not happy or sad. So who are you? That's the question. That's the question. If you feel that question, not think. If you feel that question, that's the correct thing. You've reached. Who am I?
So in this case, the mind is also an object.
Isn't it? My mind feels sad. My mind feels happy. The mind becomes the object. You are the subject. The thoughts belong to you. You are not the thoughts. So what they are saying is, every now and then you say, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. But one thing remains constant. What is that constant thing? I am, I am, I am. So they say explore that. Whatever you say, because you are saying subject object. All the time you are differentiating subject object, subject object, subject object. So as you come closer and closer within yourself, you understand there is a subject object within you. So the mind feels. You are aware that the mind feels, because you can say the mind is happy. So who is the subject? Here he says, agency of action is the mind. Why does he say that agency of action? Because he says without the mind, there's no action, right? Without desires, without thoughts, there's no action. But here, what happens is you get into a problem where you think you act. Aham karta, you will say here. Agency of action is the mind. The mind says aham karta. He says that's a wrong statement. You have to analyze that. Why is that statement made? Because of ignorance. Ajnanam, he says. What is the ajnanam? Just as the 2-year-old boy thinks the moon is moving and wavy, you think I am moving and I am wavy. I am going through all these ups and downs. Just as a 2-year-old kid says the moon is going up and down. The moon is somewhere there. You are somewhere inside. Now, in verse 23, we'll chant it twice.
Yecha sukha dukkhari buddhau satyam pravartate sushuptau nasti tannashe tasmad buddhestu natmane Yecha sukha dukkhari buddhau satyam pravartate sushuptau nasti tannashe tasmad buddhestu natmane.
Now he says attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc. arise when intellect is present. It's simple to explain. Not in deep sleep when it's absent. Therefore, they are of intellect, but not of Atman. See? So, agency of action is the mind, because mind desires, creates action. Agency of experience is the intellect. Agency of experience. Karta is the mind, Bhokta is the intellect, because of intellect. So without the intellect being present, there is no experience of emotion, right? So your intellect deciphers what is an experience you're going through now. So you feel happy. The intellect is analyzing, right? I am happy. It's instantly analyzing, but it's you analyze that. I'm happy. I'm sad. Right? This is my desire, raga, dvesha. This is pain. This is pleasure. My body is aching. The intellect is interpreting that. Without the intellect, there is no interpretation of an emotion. So he says agency of experience is the intellect. And he gives an example. In deep sleep, no intellect, so no feelings. collection of emotions is called mind, right? There is no separate entity called mind. When you feel something, it's called mind. It's not like a house, mind, from which emotions are produced. There's nothing like that. So anything to be understood, you need the intellect. Any experience to be understood, intellect. Intellect is the bhokta. Agency of intellect. Agency of experience is intellect.
So it is like that spider who emits everything from itself.
Mm. Like what? Like what?
Because if it's making the web, also it's emitting from itself. Like you're saying, there's no mind. So
See, mind means what? Whenever you
whenever,
feel something, you call it mind.
correct.
So feelings, um, impulses are mind. It's called mind for easier understanding. So a feeling and an impulse is an experience, right? You experience a feeling, right? You experience jealousy. You experience love. So that experience is registered by the intellect. This is love. It's not like, this is love, hence I feel it. No. Without the intellect, there is no registration. That's why you can say some animals which don't have an intellect do not understand that, oh, I am feeling. There is no self-awareness in many animals. They don't think, I feel. I'm happy today. No animal thinks that. I was unhappy yesterday. Does an elephant think like that? I'm unhappy yesterday. The intellect is there a little bit, very rudimentary, to distinguish certain things, but not like a human being. Last year, I was in a very good mood. No animal will think like that. No chimpanzee will think like that. Only human will think, oh, last year, the same date, amazing. Because your intellect is fully blossomed here. Hence, you're able to register things. Hence, you're able to say, I am Bhokta. Intellect is the Bhokta. You are not the Bhokta again. Who is the experiencer? Without the registration, there is no experience, as in deep sleep. So when you say, I am happy, I am unhappy, these are the upadhis. Upadhis meaning the body, mind, intellect. The upadhis go through this. I do not. I'm aware. Attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc. arise when intellect is present. This verse was a little confusing for me as well. If you read these verses now, then you will find the difficulty. Verse 22 and 23, it's not so easy to understand. Because if you say agency of action, etc., of the mind is saying, that is very confusing because action is emanated from the body. Right? Mind doesn't act. Mind feels. So those are the small things that you need to renegotiate with yourself because there are certain understanding that you have. Then you have to analyze that. Oh, but body is the agency of action, right? Because body acts. Why is he saying mind is the agency of action? Then he says All the feelings, attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, are all feelings. Feelings belong to the mind. Why is he saying it's agency of intellect? That's where you have to analyze that.
But does it mean that the Atman is a subject?
Atman is the subject. But what is Atman? I don't know. It's the mool subject. It's the only subject from which everything is objectified. Everything is object.
But it's a subject which we don't see.
You cannot see the subject, right? You are the subject. Because to see, if you say, I want to see the subject, you have to see it in terms of thoughts only. Thought is object. That's why they say, then how do you recognize that you are self-realized? There are many questions like this in many shastras. Atman is self-effulgent. Atman is the ultimate knower. It knows itself by itself. You don't need something to know Atman. You know it. It's a subjective experience. Experience again is a wrong word. Experience again is a wrong word. But experience means thoughts. It's a subjective realization. It's not an objective comprehension. I cannot understand Atman. It's like a dreamer trying to understand a waking world. No matter how much you explain, he cannot understand that. Who understands the waking world? How can a dreamer understand the waking world?
When he gets up.
By getting up from the dream.
When he gets up from the dream, who is he then?
Then he's the waker.
He is not the dreamer.
He's not the
Only a
dreamer. He's
waker
only the
understands the
waker.
waker. A dreamer, no matter.
At one time, I can understand, I can be in one state.
Correct. A dreamer cannot understand the waker. Only a waker understands the waker. I cannot understand Brahman or Atman. I need to catapult myself to that fourth, Turiya. Then there is something that happens. You know, my guru says, Chinmayananda ji told him once, it seems, Chinmayananda. Yeah, he said, self-realization is like a person who, oh, I don't know. He just explained this. Now you have to understand. It's like a person who not even fully sleep, even not like ah. Oh, all this was a imagination. What all this? Janmas of life. Oh, this is all an imagination. What a wonderful dream. No, I don't know what we understood, but that's how he explained it. A person
But the self can recognize the waker?
Huh?
Does the self recognize the waker?
What is that question? Self-recognize the waker means what?
Like the waker does not recognize the dreamer.
No,
Can this?
waker recognizes the dreamer. Dreamer doesn't recognize the waker.
Ah,
उल्टा
okay.
नहीं जाता. Waking, you understand a dream. You dreamt or a wonderful dream. The dreamer cannot imagine the waking state. आप जब ड्रीम में हैं, आपको बोलूंगा मैं, नहीं नहीं, ये जो आप जो सब कुछ देख रहे हैं, ये सब कल्पित है. If I tell you that, sir, what are you saying? I'm going through all of this. No, you're sleeping in an AC room. He cannot understand it. Sir, you live my life and talk all this nonsense. Then you talk. The dreamer cannot fathom there's another state. Just like how I cannot fathom that there is a fourth state. Sir, शास्त्रों में बोला है अच्छा सुनने के लिए अच्छा लगता है. But a person who reached the fourth state, he says, just as a dream, this is the waking world for you. So higher dimension understands the lower dimension. Even in science also same thing. A 2D being, a two-dimensional being will not understand three dimensions. We are all three-dimensional beings. We understand 2D diagrams. From 2D, we can conceptualize a 3D diagram. But a person who is in length and breadth, no height, cannot understand height. So in this all, we need to kodo here, all these verses, we need to dig. It's not agency of action, agency of experience and all that. They just, like the moon, like the sun, you will give examples, but you need to little dig in. Then only you will get the saransh of that. Right? Questions?
Vivek, that means that a dreamer and a awake person is at the same level, because you said that a higher dimension can understand a lower dimension. So, in that case, would a dreamer and a person who's awake be at the same level?
How?
You said that the waker understands the dreamer, and the dreamer is not able to understand the waker. Am I right? Now, who is at a higher level, the waker or the dreamer?
Waker, no? Because
Okay.
waker understands the dreamer.
Okay.
Waking, dream, deep sleep. Deep sleeper doesn't understand waking dream. Obviously, there are no thoughts. Dreamer doesn't understand the waking. Waker doesn't understand the fourth state.
In the using the mind, we have to use our intellect all the time, because that is the wisdom that we only humans have. So it's the intellect which we use in order to say our mood is good, our mood is bad. What we have to do is a duty.
Yeah.
So Siddharthji is doing the fall of the human intellect, and today is the last day of the lecture. But he is explaining about how the mind can be used in whichever diverted way we want, by using the intellect, by saying what is right and what is wrong.
Yes. So the intellect controls the mind.
Yeah.
One to one, the intellect controls the mind. The mind, one to one, doesn't control the intellect. One unit by one. Yeah. All right. Any more questions? Okay. If not, we will close. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Speak to sir.
Hari Om. I'll
Hari
send the
Om.
recording.